There we go. Are we live? We are 1 minute
I
live.
think
There we
we're
go.
that's good.
Caught us off guard there. That was the old Arsenal offside trap there. I mean, this caught us all offside. I mean, Nigel's busy making tea and biscuits and stuff. Evening, everyone. How are you guys doing?
Good, good.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, we're good.
Is it a good evening or is just an evening? I mean, it's been a bit of a tough January for everyone, being knocked out of uh, you know uh, two competitions, and we're out of the top four. Bit of a flat performance yesterday. We're going to get into the game pretty soon. But otherwise, how are you guys doing? We got Mark from the UK. We got Alex from the UK. How's it, guys? Nigel and Sean from the local Cape Town Arsenal Supporters Club. How are you guys doing?
Good
Yeah, all
evening.
good.
Good, good.
Good.
Good to see you, boys.
Nice one, man. Nice one. Yeah, so, gee whiz, a lot has happened since the last time we had a show. An expectant, Arsenal turned up yesterday, or at least the fans, and looking for a solid performance and the points on the board, of course. But of course, like many things in life, it doesn't always turn out the way you want it to. um, and of course, we'll get into some transfer news, a bit later. But yeah, let's just go straight into it. Arsenal nil, Burnley nil.
Yeah.
Um, and Sean, you obviously, you watched the game yesterday. What was your feelings and thoughts on the game? Sean, you up?
Oh, me.
Yeah.
That's Sean. Your name is Sean. Yeah. Okay, your name is Sean, eh? The other Sean.
Poor. Yeah, just sort of mediocre Arteta football. I mean, you know what you want to say.
So not happy with Arteta. Do you think? Do you think it was all to do with Arteta's tactics? Do you think he's completely to blame?
I think he's very tactically naive. But I mean, this is just rehashing things from like 2 years ago. But I do think if we get eighth again, you'll probably get like a 20-year contract or something. So, that's just where we are.
Is it all Arteta's fault, though? I mean,
What about you, Mark? Do you think it's all Arteta's fault? Do you think?
No, I don't. I don't. I met up with Alex yesterday before the game. I was at the game yesterday, and we were both there, and with my son and with Alex's son, and we had a good chat before the game yesterday. And look, we are where we are. We're a very average, middle of the table, maybe slightly above that side. We desperately need a goal scorer. We need, with a banging out the picture, it doesn't look as though he's going to come back and play for us. Lacazette has never been prolific in front of goal. Missed another open goal yesterday. Nketiah isn't good enough, and he's also likely to go. So we've got to sign a goal scorer now. Whether that's Vlahovic, if that's how you pronounce it, or whether that's Isaac, I don't know. Either of those two would be good. Personally, I wouldn't want Calvert-Lewin. I don't think he's any much of an upgrade on what we've got. And we need a holding midfield player. We need somebody to support Partey. We're very weak in that area. And personally, I'd go for Bizuma at Brighton, but he was on the radar last year. But nobody's talking about him at the moment, so I don't know what's happening there. But yeah, look, we are where we are. Tommy was injured yesterday. He was dreadful against Liverpool. I'm sure you guys watched that game, and he clearly wasn't fit. Alex and I were chatting yesterday about Ramsdale. I don't know what's happened to him. He was playing great, but he seems to have lost a bit of confidence and he's making a few mistakes now. I think Leconge's done all right, but he's 19 years old, the lad. I mean, he's not really at the level that we need at the moment. And we just don't seem to be able to play that final ball, and put the ball in the net. It's not good at the moment. That said, there wasn't a lot of moaning and whinging and bleating about it yesterday. I think there's a bit of a resound of, where we are where we are sort of thing at the moment. And I don't think anything will change massively unless we we sign another, and some more players, 2 maybe in this window, if we can get them. There's only a week left now, but the big business will be done in the summer, as it always is. And if we sign 6 new players in the summer like we did last summer, and they're of decent quality, they're clearly going to be youngsters, because that's the plan now. Then hopefully we build something. But yeah, at the moment it isn't good. And we've got Wolves away next game. That'll be tough because they're on a bit of a roll. They're playing quite well. And then we got Brentford at home. Now we ought to beat Brentford, but after yesterday, who knows? So it was a bit depressing, to be honest. But that was my overview of the game. So,
what are your thoughts, Nigel? Overall, do you think Arteta got it completely wrong in that game as well, or do you think it's a bit of a mixture of things? Do you think he was wrong to ship out players like Maitland-Niles when we needed players in midfield? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, no, nothing has changed really. To be honest with you, we're still frustrated as supporters. I mean, we were excited about spending about over 150 million on players, but there's still lack of inexperience when it comes to players and the manager. That's just where I come from with what I see as with the team, though. But if you look at the squad yesterday at Burnley, I mean, that was a good enough squad to beat Burnley. I mean, but I just feel that we were we were playing the same football. We were very predictable. I think it's a very predictable tactics because we were just playing on the wing. I mean, that's easy to study as an opponent because we always use Martinelli and we always use Shaka. I mean, once you get that tactics right, they're gonna kill us. I mean, the only thing I disagree is, like I said, was it the squad? Was it Arteta? I think it's more 70% the manager's fault when the players are 30%. The reason why I'm saying that, he didn't change the game in the second half. He didn't change the tactics. We still played the same football until the last minute. I'm not in agreement with 2 number 10s. Who's doing the job of the number 10? Odegaard, I'll just be honest, guys. I don't rate him. Look, a lot of people like the guy. I just think he's another Ozil in the making. Maybe he's too young. Maybe it's too much for him at the moment. But if you look at the quality of Rowie and compared to him, I'm not sure. I don't see the same quality in Odegaard what I see in Rowie. I mean, I just think 2 number 10s doesn't work. I would prefer would have played a 3-5-2 against Burnley. I mean, they're there for the taking. Why not playing attack?
Do you not think we were just forced into that 2 number 10s because of our lack of choices in midfield? I mean, if you don't play if you don't play Smith Rowe and Odegaard in midfield and Lukonga, I mean, what other choices do we even have at the moment?
Yeah, I just think that's why I'm saying it's more the managers 70% because if you give instruction to the players, I mean, if Odegaard was playing deep, he wasn't collecting ball much, and that hurt us. He never asked for ball from the defense. He was not active at all. I mean, if you understand what I'm saying, he wasn't collecting ball and carrying the ball. It was
I'm not sure he was
sideways
playing as a
again.
deep line midfielder, was he? I think there was only one deep line midfielder, wasn't it? We were just playing Lukonga as a deep line midfielder, and then we were playing to either side. So Smith Rowe was on the left-hand side of Lukonga, and Odegaard on the right-hand side. So we're actually playing more of a 4-3-3, weren't we? Rather than a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, no, I just think we were too predictable again, and that always happens.
Yeah, here's a question from.
We did have opportunities to score though, didn't we? I mean, Lacazette had a couple of chances actually. One a lot easier than the other, but we did have opportunities to win that game, and we should have won that game.
My question is just, Alex, Rowie was actually creating before he was taken off, which I actually almost threw my glass against the wall. He was the one creating and connecting with Martinelli and Lacazette. And someone, actually my sister-in-law's boyfriend, he's a United supporter. He said, "Just watch because that always happens." He said, "Rowy's gonna come off. He's gonna leave Odegaard on the field," and it happened. Why that changed for me? Since that change happened, that whole game was dead.
Do you
Rowy
think?
was actually doing things before he was taken off, and
Do you
that
think
didn't.
Smith Rowe lack?
I think he's carrying an injury, Nigel. I think
Yeah,
that's the reason why.
yeah, he's
But
lacking
if it's
match
good to
fitness, isn't he?
start, what you see, that's again mismanagement of the manager. Then rather not play the boy because we're playing Spurs in whatever we're playing Wolves away. Now you're playing him, you might get injured more.
I
So
think it's
that
just
for
more to do
me,
with match fitness, is it?
I don't
Rather
know.
than him actually being injured still. I don't know. He's only just come back from an injury, hasn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
Tomiyasu was missing as well. I mean, is his injury recurring now, Tomiyasu? I don't know. Not
He's
sure
he's
about
out
that.
for a couple of weeks, Alex. He's got
Yeah,
a calf strain or something.
yeah,
Yeah, I think Tommy Yasu came on against Liverpool, and I think he made
yeah.
his
He had a,
injury
Oh, he
worse. So,
started.
yeah.
Oh, he
oh.
started.
Well, Nazim had a question earlier. You were saying, okay, so I mean, we heard from Nigel now on his comments, how he would have changed it, but Sean, it was posed to you as well. If so, how would you have? What did you have done to change it up? If it was up to you, Sean.
Yeah, I don't think Tierney was at his best yesterday. Far from it. I would have probably bought Nuno Tavares on.
He wasn't on the field.
Yeah, I think that could have definitely changed things. Also, bringing Ketia on for Lacazette, I think was poor. But then again, we've got the Aubameyang issue. So look, it's going to be difficult. Either way you spin it, it's difficult. But I just think that tactically, nah, not for me. Absolutely not for me. We knew that Burnley were going to frustrate us. We knew what they were going to do, and we just couldn't overcome that. And the manager does have to take this one on the chin, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would have changed. I would have taken, like I said, I would have gone for a back three in the last few minutes when it comes to 65th minute. I would have gone for a back three. I would have taken Odegaard off. I know you guys said now that Rowie might carry, but if he starts, then I mean, why not finish the game? I mean, but anyway, I would have taken Odegaard off and push up Turner a little bit more for more an attack.
Well, I don't know what was the. I mean,
I would have put Martinelli
the
more
one,
up front.
the one thing that was frustrating and irritating me the whole game was, towards the end, we were making crosses into the penalty box, and we never won one header. And Burnley just ate it up for breakfast all day long. I mean, I think Burnley's strength is the ability in the air, and
Yeah.
and we like the opposite. And it just baffled me. So why would we do that? Why would
Yeah.
we
Tarkowski and
consistently cross the ball? And we got players this big, and their
yeah,
players are this big. I don't. That's the one thing I would have said. Sorry, guys, you got to keep it on the ground. You got to let them make a tackle in the penalty box. Force a corner, a penalty, a free kick or something. I just thought we played into Burnley's hand right through that game.
yeah, I'd agree with that totally. I mean, Tarkowski and me, they're two of the biggest centre halves in the league. They're both good headers of the ball, and we just kept feeding them and feeding them and feeding them. Why don't we try and play? We had one move in the first half, or was it first half or second half? We swapped the other way around, didn't we, yesterday? In the first half, where we had about 6 or 7 or 8 passes, all very quickly, like one, and that was the best move of certainly the first half, and we should have ended up scoring there. But that's because we played it all along the ground and we played it through them. The moment, the last 10, 15 minutes, Lacazette's never going to win the ball in the air. He's only about 5'10" anyway. He's not going to beat me and Tarkowski.
Yeah.
Martinelli, he's not a big guy particularly.
Yeah.
What happened to Saka yesterday? Saka was hardly in the game. Did he? My son's not
tired.
a fan of his, but he didn't really influence the game at all, did he?
Do you think he looked tired? Do you think fatigue's playing a part here, Mark?
Yep.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, he's played a lot of games, hasn't he? He's played a lot of time. But then, go back to the point you said at the beginning, Alex. We let Balogun go out on loan. He's hardly played this year. We've let Ainsley Maitland-Niles go out on loan. You know, what's happened to who's the other winger lad? The lad who was in Germany. What's his name? I can't remember his name.
Was he
Yeah.
not on the bench?
Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson.
No, yeah,
Oh,
Reece
no,
Nelson. Yeah, where's Reece Nelson?
He's on loan.
Where's he? You know,
Yeah,
why is he
he's
not
gone
getting
out
a game?
again.
Well, he's not even on the bench. We had yesterday on the bench. It's all very well saying again Arteta should have changed it, and I agree with you. But when we looked at the bench yesterday, who did we have on the bench who was going to come on and influence it?
Yeah,
You compare that
absolutely
bench
nothing.
we had
Yeah,
yesterday,
nothing.
you know, to say City's bench or even Liverpool's bench. You know, we're nowhere near that level.
I mean, Craig Stanley just made a good comment here about someone just mentioned the Balogun scenario. You know, why are we loaning out these guys when we've been such sort of need of these guys or these players? And I mean, January is like it's not the end of the season, but you can certainly, your season can blow up in your face, and guess what? It has. We're out of 2 tournaments. We dropped out of top 4. Confidence can't be sky high now. Okay, we got a bit of a 2-week break, so we can rebuild, and by then I think we'll have 1 or 2 players back. I think from AFCON and things like that. But do you guys think that it was a little bit naive and a bit mismanagement of our resources, knowing what we knew at the beginning of the season, and still letting these guys go out alone? I just,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
do,
even
Warren.
if
I
we
agree.
still because for me that's like like a lack of accountability.
Planning.
I mean,
Lack of planning.
No,
We
yeah.
knew we knew we were going to lose 4 to the African nations because all of those teams were likely to qualify. So we knew that was going to happen, and then yet we still let these players go out on loan. And I get it that people like Balogun do need game time and they do need to improve their game, but maybe we should have sort of thought about that. Again, Aziz, we've called him back from Portsmouth on loan, and yet he wasn't even on the bench yesterday. I didn't get that one.
Yeah.
Is that
It
because
does-
he's not getting the game time at Portsmouth? I think is that why he's been recalled? Or do you think we might loan him out to somewhere else instead?
I don't know, Alex. I mean, I think I've only seen him play a couple of times, and he looked quite a good prospect.
Yeah,
but,
just look good. But I suppose we've got players like Maitland-Niles as well, who also look like great prospects, and yet they're out on loan. I mean, from what I've seen of Maitland-Niles, this is my personal opinion. I mean, I think he looks better than Sambi personally, but
Yeah.
I think he looks better than Xhaka, but that wouldn't be enough.
Sean said we should make Xhaka the president of the club. I mean, that's his favorite player, Granit Xhaka.
Xhaka's got to go, mate. Why is he still at the club? I can't understand. I'll drive him to the airport myself. I can't stand the fella. He's absolute liability. And you got, and then Partey doesn't get sent off as well. Oh dear,
it's terrible. Do you think Nigel? Do you think that we missed a good quality midfield or an experienced midfield though yesterday?
Yeah. Before I answer the
against
question,
Liverpool.
we were asking questions. Why this one going alone? Why is this asking questions? I mean, I guys, I personally feel I think the job for Arteta came too early in his career, especially with managing Arsenal Football Club, which is not a small club. We're supporting one of the biggest clubs in the world, and to have a manager that never ever. I'm not doubting his quality in the future. I think he got some idea, but not for Arsenal Football Club at the moment. As I look at the games and the way he manages things, I just think he's a lack of inexperience is costing our season. The reason why I'm saying that all the players going on loan, the players that he sent on loan before the season, example Guendouzi, Saliba, all those players that he said himself that they're not ready, and these boys are playing. They have the best stats over in the other leagues. I mean, that's costing our season. I just think this inexperience is costing our season. I don't think people say I don't this boys are not good enough. I don't think so. I think they are good enough. I think as we've been mismanaged. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. We were giving 150 million to spend, so we can't blame the Kroenkers not to give us money. I mean, it's just frustrating. It's when last we were out in the third round of the FA Cup. I can't even probably 20 years ago, if I'm correct, guys. I mean, it, Arteta's stats is just there's a lot of negative stats. It's like if we go behind, we don't come back under Arteta since he's been here. The first time we're out of Europe, there's just a lot of negative.
Where do you think the biggest need is? I mean, is it some are saying striker? Obviously, I understand that, or some are saying midfield. And sorry, just before we go on, Ian made a comment about even if Zaka and Party do come back, we still need a first choice midfielder. So Ian, if you're still there, let us know who would be your choice for a midfield recruitment. Who would you guys you're on the panelists? If you had the money and if you had to choose, what midfield would you go for in this
Just
transfer
a
window?
comment on Zaka. Sorry, Warren. He tweeted that he's a guy that takes risks, and people must accept who he is. That for me is he need to go. If I can use the other word, I mean, what mentality is that? I'm a player that take chances. So to accept who I am. That is, we can't have these players at Arsenal. It's costing us for so long. I mean, it's so frustrated to not
Yeah, I
getting
saw that
through.
comment. Yeah, I did see that comment. Sean, what do you say? That's your main guy, Zaka. He takes chances. And we're not talking about bingo here. We're talking about football. Eh? What is your
Um,
thoughts on that comment that he takes chances, considering that he
I
got
think
sent off
that
again? What does that
first,
mean, though? What?
Martin
he's
showing his
reckless.
Martin showing his paper is done.
No, he just shoots from the hip. He's reckless. He shoots from the hip. Um, and that's, no, I don't think so. No, I think he has to go inevitably.
Do you,
Um,
do you think that we've had a few
because I've
mentions of
defended him to
loan
death,
players
but
leaving? So.
I really can't defend him anymore. But I think that if we have to sort of go on a who do I think we need or where do we need strengthening, I think another manager would be a good start. You know,
You're not letting it go, though.
Look,
Do you think it's worth bringing back players
look,
like
we're going to finish
I've
eighth
seen
again. Let's be
Guendouzi
real.
there? Do you think? What do you think? Do you think we should bring it back Guendouzi or Saliba? Do you think
A
they will
lot of
make a
people
difference
saying
in the
that,
squad?
yeah. A lot of people saying that in the
There's a few
comments.
comments, yeah, here. Maybe we should
I
bring back
think, I
Guendouzi,
think,
Saliba.
Saliba will be back next season. I mean, he'll be
guys, we
in.
have another
I think you
He'll
can have the
definitely be
best
back.
11 in the world under Arteta, and you would still bottle it. So I don't think it matters.
Guys, we have another defender on loan. Do you guys know that? Another youngster. He's been at Arsenal almost 4 or 5 years. What's his name? He plays in Germany and he's doing well there.
Yeah, the centre half.
What,
What's his name?
what's his name? That center back.
Mavropanos.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
Mavropanos. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's
forgotten
doing
about
well
him. I think
there.
everyone forgot about him.
Who?
Mavropanos.
Mavropanos, yeah.
Isn't he a centre back?
Yeah,
He
he's doing
he
well.
got sent off in his first game against Man United, if you remember.
Yeah, I know. But apparently he's doing well because I'm also like googling what he's doing, but he's doing well where he is. I mean, another holding Mari's gone. I think it's time for Holding to go.
Yeah, I
think
think Charles makes a very good point here. This is a very good. Arteta showed up the defense, but his trust in his midfielders has been misplaced. And I actually want to take that one step further. I think you can just look at how the deals have been arranged from the beginning of the season to now. Clearly, yes, Arteta's put a lot of faith in one, Granit Xhaka, and two, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, his two most senior players. But take a wild guess, the two players that have let him down the most is that same two players. On top of everything else that has been going on, no signings, AFCON, COVID. I think this is one thing being piled up onto the next. And now he's in a position where I actually don't think the manager has a choice of who's his 11. I mean, we were
yeah,
talking about that Forest game, and people were complaining it, but literally there was nothing. There was no, besides Gunnosaurus getting the number 8 shirt there, we had no one else to play. There was literally no one. And people were still complaining, but hold on, that was our entire squad that started that Forest game. I actually felt sorry for Lukonga. I felt sorry because he was doing the job of three people. And that's why I'm coming back to the. I actually think his whole sort of strategy for this year is the Zaka slash Aubameyang sort of, and both of that has fallen through the cracks, and now he's kind of, the deck of cards has come falling down now. But saying that, I think we got to be more decisive in the transfer window. We can't, pussyfoot around certain things. We've got to react. I don't know. I mean, that's just the way I look at
Warren,
it.
yeah, but Warren, how many years we've been saying that we must be active quickly in the transfer for how many years? It's frustrating. It's the same. Sorry, it's the same shit all the time, every season. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. It's the same crap.
We did get 6 players in the summer, didn't we? I mean, to be fair,
Yeah, no.
who's up at the moment that we would want? Here's one I'll throw in the pot. What about getting Ramsey back for the next 6 months? You don't want to be at Juve. You think he'd strengthen the side? I know his wages are a little bit high, but we could probably negotiate Juve paying some of that.
I personally think that Jack is better than Odegaard. Bring Jack Wilshere back.
Jack Wilshere. Wow.
Probably lasts about 15 minutes before he
Yeah,
gets injured.
He's got glass. He's got glass ankles.
I think he's more at Arsenal actually, just from a coaching perspective.
Yeah,
I think,
it is.
isn't he?
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
I
correct.
think that's what
If
he's
you're
aiming.
going
I
to
don't
bring
think
Jack
he's actually
Wilshere back,
looking
you
to
might as
play.
well bring Frimpong back. You know what I mean?
So just go.
Yeah.
If we go round,
But,
we'll start with you, Mark. Who would you bring in this transfer window, and who would you potentially ship out?
Well, I wouldn't ship anybody else out now until the end of the season, unless if somebody puts money on the table for Nketiah, then let him go because he's not good enough. If somebody comes in for Lacazette, I'd let him go as well. It's all about whether we can get a goal scorer, and it's difficult. I know we got a banging in January, but it's difficult to get a really quality centre forward this time of year. I mean, if that Vlahovic wants to come, fine. But if he don't want to come, that Isaac guy, the Swedish lad, he looks a decent player, a decent prospect.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Yeah, and maybe I'd go for him. But it's whether we can get him, whether we're prepared to pay his relief clause. I think you said to me yesterday that it was 90 million euros or something.
Luis Suarez. Alistair said Luis Suarez.
And midfield, you could probably look at midfield players. Bissouma, I've already mentioned today. Tielemans potentially at Leicester, whether he'd come or not. I'm a big Maddison fan. He's playing very well again at the moment, and it's whether he'd come from Leicester. Those players are out there. It's whether they want to come and sign for us. So Declan Rice, yeah, we'd love him, but
Oh,
you
Declan.
think he's going to come and play for us? Seriously? Yeah, no chance. He's going to Chelsea, mate. Trust me.
Yeah.
How about you, Nigel? Who do you think we should bring in?
Yeah, I would love that Slapovic player. I mean, 160 million. but I'll go for Isaac. I think he's a cheaper option, but very, very good. I agree with Mark. I've seen him in the Euros. His movement is quite brilliant, and he's quite tall. I mean, we've been struggling, like we said, in aerial balls in the box. Brilliant player. I mean, he's good with his feet. He's good with height. Obviously, the guy that we want is got the boat quality.
Right, overrated.
He's overrated. He's not good enough, Arsenal, Mark.
I tell you the other guy we might get if Leeds carry on as they are is Calvin Phillips. He's a really decent midfield player.
That guy's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I just think we need another defensive midfielder. I think with Partey's in and out of the squad, I think we need another backer for Partey. And obviously, if I would ship someone out, I will ship out Odegaard. I don't like the guy.
You really don't like him, man.
I don't think he's good enough for Arsenal. We shipped out Ozil. We had the same player. I don't want to see the same player.
He's a bit lightweight, isn't he? He doesn't really influence games.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
No.
Mark, to be honest with you, if we leave him out the squad, it's not a miss. I want players that we're gonna miss if he's not there. Like Partey, if he's not there, he's a big miss. I want players I want Arteta to sign that kind of players. We need that kind of players.
Do you think in that formation where we've got a 4-2-3-1, where we've got an attacking midfielder, one attacking midfielder, who would you rather have Smith Rowe over Odegaard?
Any day, I think Smith Rowe is 20 times better than Odegaard when it comes to connecting with the players. He's running off the ball, collecting, scoring goals, and he's only 22. He's still gonna get better. I mean, he's Arsenal, man. He knows what the badge is all about. I mean, these players that comes here, like Odegaard, reject from Real Madrid. We had another one before him. What's his name? Tobias. I had enough of these guys, man. I had enough. I mean, get some guys from England, man. I know they cost much. I think Ben White was a good signing. Come on, get some guys from other clubs, like Declan Rice, like you said. Let's get guys from Norwich. There's some good players in Norwich. They just need to be in a better team. I mean, let's test Spurs. Let's test Spurs for Son. I'm just making an example, but I think Son he's not going to win trophies.
He just signed a new contract last year, so we won't get him. But
yeah, no. But what I'm saying is, let's test these clubs in our league. We're not doing that. Why must clubs do it to us? We can afford them. We want to give a guy from what's his name, Dalfovic. Well, I don't know how to pronounce his name. We want to give him 160 million. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of players.
Craig is just making a good comment on what Nigel's like.
That,
Players, Bios and Odegaard is in the same WhatsApp group.
I agree.
Pretty much.
How about you, Sean? What are your thoughts on who do you think we should bring in?
I think Andy Carroll would be good.
Still on the Andy Carroll drum.
Well, at least we'll win a header. I mean, come on.
Just wheel him out to Burnley.
He's physical.
Look, I think that what's that striker's name from Brentford?
Ivan Toney.
Yeah, Ivan Toney. Yeah.
Toney, yeah.
There's one. I'll definitely take him. Calvert-Lewin, I don't know. I'm not too keen on him.
No,
I don't think he's as good as we hype him up to be.
I don't want players to play with skirts. I mean,
what's wrong with him, Nigel? No, I mean, come on.
Ivan Toney for me would be great. You know, definitely.
And he's got my surname. Lewin.
So what is that supposed to mean? I mean, is that a good or bad thing?
Distant cousin.
Get a signing on fee.
Yeah, I think in the midfield we can bring someone like Verratti from PSG.
Oh, are we talking?
Sure.
What about Wijnaldum? There's been some talk about Wijnaldum. Do you think he'd be a good buy if we could get him?
Oh, he'd been awesome. Awesome.
And I think as a proper winger, we can sell Pepe and we can just bring Mbappe in while we're at it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, Mbappe's not coming, but the talk is Wijnaldum's not happy about not playing at PSG, and he's a proven Premiership player. He scores goals as well.
Neymar, maybe.
No. What about Diego Costa? Would you take him?
Yeah.
No.
He's gonna
Because
fucking
he's Diego Costa.
I hate the guy.
I'm just asking.
He's gonna choke Arteta. Are you mad? That man's gonna choke Arteta. You mustn't.
I do agree. Calvin Phillips would definitely take Calvin Phillips.
Diego Costa's got all the right characteristics, but it's Diego Costa, so that's probably the only reason I wouldn't take him. But he's that big target man. You know, he could muscle out Burnley defenders. He'd eat them for breakfast. But he's not the type. You know, just the history that he's got with our club. It's just not good, is it? So.
But they said that about Lukaku at the start of the season, Alex. And look at him now; he's useless.
Yeah,
he's ate all the pies. He looks.
Someone ate all the pies.
Has he been going out with Danny Rose?
He's out to Frump lunch breaks, I think. I don't see any. I must be honest. I don't see any signings in this window. I'm just being realistic. I can't see anything happening. And if worse comes to worse, maybe we should just recall all our lonely players: Guendouzi, Torreira, Saliba, Mavropanos. I mean, I think wasn't Chambers also available yesterday? I don't think he was injured. Wasn't he on the bench, Chambers?
No, he wasn't on the bench. I assumed he was injured, so I think he
Well,
would have
I'm
played in
sure
midfield. He could have played in midfield. He's not a
Yeah.
bad
because that
midfield
doesn't look
player.
like the manager trusts him because he would rather break up the two centre backs. He done that in the previous game as well, and he
I think
played rather Rob Holding. Ben White at right back. I mean, and that was a total waste of time
No,
because
Warren,
he never got forward once. Well, he
Warren,
meant he come to think of it.
I just want to mention something where I feel that we are taking some.
Jenkinson, bring back Jenkinson. Let's
Oh
go
He's
for
just gone.
man,
He's,
Jenkinson.
he's just gone to Melbourne City.
he's in
Did you see that?
America.
He's
He
gone to
went
Melbourne in
the
Australia.
Yeah,
Jenkinson.
yeah, he
yeah,
has. Yeah,
Come on.
yeah, yeah.
Shame, man. Shame.
Yeah, Warren,
Isn't
I
it
just want
Forest
to mention
District Club or
something.
something?
Sorry,
Where I,
Nigel?
what I just want to mention something where I also say about the inexperience of Arteta where it comes when was in the FA Cup game where he played Tommy. He mentioned that he wasn't fit, right? Holding was available, fit, right? He played. Was another player who wasn't fit. I think it was. But anyway, why? I mean, it was a semi-final, a cup that would have brought it into Europe. So I told Alex we had a nice conversation on Facebook. I said I'll be happy if Arteta qualify for Europa League or the Champions League. I don't want the other one. I don't see that as a European Cup. But if he qualifies for Europe, I think it will be a successful season because we're back into Europe. When it comes to if we're not going to qualify for Europe this season, I think it's going to be a disaster when it comes to the for financially for the club because we're out of the third round of the FA Cup, one of the cups that we've been first, the most success, and obviously that helped us with the revenue. If I'm correct, if we're not going to qualify for Europe, it's going to hurt us so much financially. I personally think. And besides that, he played Tommy that was unfit and he played in and he took out Tommy for the Burnley game. Why didn't he play the same back four against Liverpool? He played a guy that wasn't fit that he said after the game that he wasn't fit. He didn't even train against Liverpool in a semi-final of a cup. I mean that for me is a problem. That's why I mentioned that the reason why our season might not be is because of the inexperience of Arteta. Um, there's a lot of questions where I'm not happy with what he does, whatever. Yes, we win 3-4 games, everyone is happy, everyone goes overboard. I said from the start of the season, Warren, and everyone, I said I will wait for in May. Wenger's favorite words. I will wait in May to see where he lies. I'm not gonna be awake.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about we playing well, then we just inconsistent.
Ian's made a good comment here, Nigel. I don't know if we can see it here. This is a good point here. So, what do you guys think about this? If we don't make top six, meaning we don't kind of get European football, do we sack Arteta or do we still stick with the guy? Is that the minimum requirement now? Top
Yes.
six.
If you want ambition, if you want to be ambitious to win trophies, to qualify for Europe, I'm sorry, if he doesn't make top six, he needs to be fired. I
You
know.
know
Sure.
what's gonna
What are your thoughts on that, Mark?
Yeah, I probably agree with that. To be honest, I mean we've got no European football this season, have we? So we're not. We haven't got midweek games. We haven't got the pressure on the squad or anything like that. And you look at those sides like Chelsea and Leicester that have not had that in the past. They've gone on and won the league the following season. Now look, we ain't going to win the league, but I think given the fact we have not had no European competition this year, if we don't finish. Well, I don't know whether we'll finish top four, if I'm honest. I think United might nick that place. But yeah, look, if we don't get into the top six, yeah, I agree. I think he's probably had 2 years, 2.5 years. Maybe we move on and we look somewhere else. Ranieri's got the sack after 3 months today. So, how
Was
long do you give the
That
guy?
Okay.
surprised me.
Yeah.
What
I mean,
are
you
your
know what's
thoughts,
gonna
Sean?
happen.
Aston
He's,
Villa
we're going to
signing
finish
players,
8th,
guys.
Sean, no, sorry,
and
what did
then
you
he's
say,
going
Sean?
to get. I think he's going to finish 8th, and then he's going to get a 5-year deal because that's just how it works, doesn't it?
Now,
You
come
know
on,
what
do
I
you
mean?
think
He's
so?
going to
You
get a 5-year
serious?
deal. He's going to get like twice the salary that he's getting now. He's going to get a 5-year deal. He's going to sell like Smith Road to like Scunthorpe or something, and that's just how it's going to go. I mean, that's what we
That's it.
got.
I don't think now the fans will accept that in the stadium. We give Wenger years and years and
Oh,
years because of what he actually did for the club. You know, he got the Invincibles, he won multiple doubles, you know, he won a lot of FA Cups. Um, you know, he got his top four for years and years and years. And
oh,
he had a lot of leeway with the fans. Um, and it turned ugly, and mainly because of negativity on social media. But um, I don't think Arteta has that same sort of rapport with the fans. Really, I think you know we've seen flashes of great play so far this season, but if we don't get top six this season, I don't think that the fans will accept that generally. You'll see it in
guys,
the stadiums come the end of the season, last game of the season. If we are not in the top six, there will be a huge backlash against
do you
them.
know what's
I imagine there
embarrassing?
will be. I'm not, you know, if we're in that sort of position at the end of the season, which I really hope we're not, then
Sure.
I don't think it'll end particularly well for him.
You know what's embarrassing, Alex? We fired probably one of two of the best managers in the world to give an inexperienced manager to manage Arsenal Football Club to think that he can improve. We fired Wenger.
Yeah, but
I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, that everyone that knows me, I wasn't happy with Wenger because we wanted Wenger out. I mean, because we were so successful and just went downwards. I mean, I told my one friend, I feel so shit because of that. I mean, he said, "You guys are gonna miss me." I mean, I feel so shit in my heart because of that. But anyway, that's in the past. But what I'm saying is, we took on Unai Emre. The guy got probably a 1.5 season. The first season he came fifth. I think he got 2 points from the Champions League. He almost qualified for the Champions League. His
Because of
first season.
Mustafi costed him his
Yeah,
top
there we
four
go.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen that before many times where one player cost us games or cups. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing has changed. I mean, well, what I'm saying is we Unai Emery done maybe I think about a month he didn't do well. We fired him. You know what was more embarrassing? The guy came back and he came back and knocked us out of Europa League. And he actually won the Europa League that season where we won Man United in the final. Where people say, Arteta won the FA Cup. I mean, seriously, this guy
I think
came.
He,
And
did you not think that the language barrier was a big thing though for
I just
Unai
think
Emery?
we were into hurry to fire this guy. I mean, he
But
didn't get
we
much
did have a
money,
very bad run though with him, didn't we?
but is that's not worse?
I don't. My personal opinion is no, it's not. I actually think that the guys
We were
defend as a
late
unit
when
much
we fired
better. I
him.
think defensively we turned a corner. You know, since the Wenger days, I think we actually have defenders who defend as a unit can
And now we
actually
can't score
defend.
goals.
But well, that'll come. You can't blame the manager for people missing golden opportunities. That's on the strikers, I'm afraid. Burnley,
Just,
that game, that was on Lacazette. Sorry, I mean you got to take those
yeah,
chances.
no.
Generally,
So,
I see this season as we've turned a corner in terms of how we play football. I've seen it against quite a few of the teams now. We actually look like a much better side. Okay, yes, we're lacking in squad depth, but the way that we play football is much better. And I just think that, you
yeah, they're
know
just
the players need a
inconsistent.
little bit of time.
Yeah.
But you know, you talk about getting in the experienced manager. Here was one experienced manager that everyone was going. I've got a lot of Man United mates, and they're all saying, "You've missed a trick here. You should have got Ancelotti. Should have got Ancelotti. Where's Ancelotti now? buggered off to Real Madrid. He lasted what? Didn't even last 2 seasons. And I said to everyone when he came to Everton, he was going to be like Arsenal. He's going to use it as a stepping stone until he gets a better job. And where is he now? Real Madrid. So there we
I
go.
I
Yeah.
wonder
think we should just call it a
what do
day,
you guys
sign
think?
Neil Warnock, and call it a day.
What do
He
you
was on
guys
the
think?
radio
If
today.
manager, if Arteta down, if Arteta gets fired, say I don't want that. I want him to do well. I want him to prove me wrong. Everyone wants Arteta to prove them wrong. We don't want to be without Europe again next season. I mean, what the fuck must I do on a Wednesday and a Thursday? I mean,
That's
there's no
what yeah,
Europe
that's
in the
what
week.
bingo's for. That's what bingo's for. But I think
Yeah,
listen, I mean the problem is that we've got and we do have problems, but you know what, those problems, in my opinion, disappears if we have a good transfer window. But what I don't want us to do is when we start giving big contracts to people that is in their mid 30s, when 1 week you're trying to get rid of Granit Xhaka to Roma, the next week you're giving him a 4-year contract. Now,
Contract, yeah.
now that doesn't make sense to me. So all the problems we mentioned, like the striker, we need a backup for the wingers, we need a backup right back, we need a number 18 midfield. All these things can be fixed. This is stuff that can be fixed. And how do you fix it? You fix it by having a great transfer window. And I think that it's not going to happen now, guys. Forget about it. The transfer window in June, July, August is going to separate the men from the boys, and it's going to show and prove Arteta, listen here, the ball's in your court now. You've got to make the right decisions, but you cannot go again. And I don't want to see Lacazette getting a 3-year deal, and no, we're going to loan out Eddie Nketiah again, and we talking maybe we're gonna patch things up with Aubameyang, and that ship has sailed now. He's now got to find the solutions to fix the problems. Everyone knows what the problem is. You can ask any Arsenal supporter on the planet. They'll tell you immediately exactly where we need and da da da. But we've got to be decisive now in the next transfer market. We can't again sort of go back on our word and then suddenly you're still stuck with a Granit Xhaka's and the Lacazettes and all these guys. We got to be decisive. No, we should actually know now already, like right now, for June and July. I don't want to hear that the 20th of August we need to send the fax letter through to Juventus to get the deal done. That conversations must happen now. Forget about this transfer window. Get those conversations going now already. So when the transfer window opens up in the 1 June, bang, it's okay. You said 40 million, here's the 40 million. Give us the player. Right, next player. That I want to see for once, before I die, that Arsenal does that. I can't remember any transfer window where Arsenal has been decisive and said, bang, we're getting this guy. How much? 40? Bang, there's the 40 million. Come, next player. I don't think we've ever done that. We've got to move past that. We've got to find solutions. And the problems we got, I don't think it's problems that's in front of us, but I think it can be solved. It can be solved by a good transfer window. And the club has shown that they're willing to back the manager. They're actually said in this transfer window the money's available. So they are backing the manager, with Edu and whoever else they've got to know they must know now already for June and July.
Yeah,
That
they
is
need
what
a
I want to
list.
see.
They need a shopping list. They need to have a list of.
Yeah.
They need to sit down and work out where we need another at least 6 players in the summer.
Exactly,
don't we? So
exactly,
they should have
exactly.
that shopping list identified now. Look, we ain't going to get them all, but they should be looking at like that young lad at Brighton. What's his name? Lamptey. He looks at last few games. He's been brilliant. He's only 21, I think. So we should have a list of players who might come, and we should be talking to them and have them lined up. Warren, you're absolutely right.
Yep.
This last minute bloody 11 o'clock on the transfer day, that's what Spurs do, because they try and nick players without paying the full price for them. We should just go out there and say, look, he's worth 40 million quid. Look, if we get this Vlahovic for 60 million, he's probably worth it. He's a good player. He scored a lot of goals, but we don't know whether he's going to be able to adapt to the Premiership yet, do we? I mean, there's lots of players that have scored goals elsewhere and then not made it in the Premiership. So we don't know, but at least he's young, and if he is rubbish or he's not up to the standard, we can sell him on and get some more money back for him. But We need a list. You're absolutely right. We all know. Look, we watch the games every week. We know where we need to sign players, and we still need to ship out those that are surplus to requirements. Okay, what's his name? Kolasnac's gone now, but
Yeah.
there's still about another half a dozen we could name who need to
Players
go.
that needs to leave the council.
Yeah, Guendouzi.
I would personally take one player from Newcastle. What's his guy's name? Maximus.
Saint Maximin.
Yes, I will take. I will take him. If I must shop in our own league, I will take that player, and I would take Declan Rice. I would really take it. I think we need. I think we need
wish list. Yeah.
I think he will make a huge difference in our midfield. And ship out Xhaka. I don't want to see that guy. He's the reason why man gets drunk, you know.
Guys, we're gonna have to wrap
it up.
Sorry. Yeah. Let's have maybe. Are we gonna do a prediction of where we're gonna finish the season? I mean, are we gonna do that? Who wants to go? Sean, you wanna go first? The proper one now. Eh? Now, come on, man. Okay, you love your. Okay. Mark, what do you say? Fifth, okay. Nigel.
Oh fuck.
Pick a number, 1 to 20.
If you show this, if you're basically showing this performance that we had with Burnley, I personally think that we're gonna end 7th.
7th, okay. I'm gonna go 6. Yeah.
I'm gonna go 4th.
Hey!
Love it. Optimism at its best.
Someone's gonna have to be optimistic. All right, guys. I think time is up. Yeah.
Great.
Sure, man. Everyone, thanks for joining.
I'm sure I'll see you at Brentford, Mark.
Yeah, I'm at Brentford. I'll see you there, mate. To be honest, if
Great
you're
stuff.
there around, we'll have a chat before the game as well, and hopefully we might have signed some players.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
What was it like in the pub? What was it like in the pub yesterday, Warren? Did you go?
No, I actually didn't go. I mean, I think it's pretty much like the Emirates. It's a bit flat, but we're hoping for that big game to kickstart things. But yeah, we're living open. Spurs, yeah.
Spurs game will be, if it's not in a week though.
That's the only thing. That's
Yeah, because it's late for you guys, isn't it? It'll be like a 10 o'clock kickoff or something, right?
10 o'clock, yeah. But we'll probably still go through though for that one. Me and my pal Sean.
I don't really care if it's 10 o'clock 11.
Oh, pal. Okay, guys.
How's Harvey? Is Harvey good?
Harvey still wants Wenger out though, so he's still waiting for that to happen. I was actually trying to get him on. Yeah, I will do so.
He wants beating the back.
I will do shot mark. Thanks, guys.
Guys, Andy Carroll is the way forward.
And Neil Warnock. We got it.
Andy Carroll.
See you guys.
Andy Carroll. Cheers,
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Cheers, man. Bye-bye.